My experience in Berlin, Germany was amazing. Berlin has many times been named the #1 city in the world for vegan food. It has over 80 vegan restaurants, and Germany also meant a lot to me to go visit because my ancestors were German and immigrated from Germany to Nebraska as farmers. We took an over 6-hour train from Amsterdam, Netherlands, all the way to Berlin, Germany. And the cost for it was honestly pretty good. I think it was a little cheaper before, like 60 euro or dollars. But it was around like 78 maybe dollars. But honestly, I think that's a pretty good price to travel this far. Oh my god, I was filming this field because it reminded me of Nebraska, so it makes sense that my German ancestors immigrated to Nebraska. The train ride seemingly went on forever, but at least there was bathrooms and some Wi-Fi. It had some problems, but at least there was Wi-Fi. I was running off of Wi-Fi this whole time, by the way. My boyfriend had data for a month, but I was just raw dogging Europe. We arrived in Berlin as the sun was setting, and we luckily found this vegan sandwich at this grocery store, and we got some stuff. I had a panic attack because it was taking forever to like find the right trains and get to our destination, and it was dark out, and I was in a new country again, where people speak a new language. Like every country is a new big city, a new language. It was just very overwhelming, and I was worried about what the housing would look like when we got to our place. And yeah, traveling is amazing, but that doesn't mean it's perfect. Things can still feel overwhelming, like being in a new country and there being a new language, and you don't know what your sleeping conditions are going to be like that night. But I'm glad that overall Berlin was an amazing experience, and Europe was also an amazing experience overall. So we were staying at an Esperanto House, which was opening literally the next day. And I was worried that I would be sleeping in a room with other people, and that is what happened, but luckily it was really comfy and I just like fell asleep. And then when I woke up the next morning, I was like fine. And there was one other person who had apparently slept in there, but they were gone after that night. It was just my boyfriend and I that, the next night on. The next day was the grand opening of the Esperanto House. We assumed like it would be in Esperanto, but a lot of it ended up being in German, which was kind of awkward. So we took a walk and then just kind of hung out, and then we decided that there was no vegan food. So we were gonna have to train into Berlin to get something, which I was fine with. There wasn't a whole lot going on at the party anyway, and I was excited to see Berlin. We went to this vegan restaurant called Soy and got some, I think, Vietnamese food, and it was really good. Here's the TV tower. We kind of just walked around. We found Dunkin' Donuts has vegan donuts in Germany, so I got some. They're kind of mid, honestly, but like I guess they're good. They were cheap. We found this like cool world clock type thing that showed the time difference in different places in the world. And I thought the pedestrian walk signs were funny. They look kind of like this, but apparently it's like a tourist thing that Berlin has just like made a bunch of merch of. I took this photo because I've heard people say sometimes that America's cities are trashed and Europe is like perfect. But honestly, that's not the case. There is pollution in European cities too. Here's the TV tower again, and yeah, we just kind of walked around, and there's many beautiful things just around the city. I took a picture of these because I just really liked that they said that I think Germany stands with Ukraine. Okay, so unlike other places, we did not have a key to the house, and we made the first train to get home, but the second one we totally goofed on because we thought if it said, the destination we're going towards on the track we were at, the platform we were at, then that would be the train. But no, Glees means platform, and it was what it was actually saying was that that train wasn't going to be here. It was actually going to be on another platform. So we watched our train leave, and we had to wait an hour and a half for the next train. We finally take the last 2 trains home, but then we have a dilemma because it's 10 minutes to midnight and we don't have a key, so we use the doorbell and knock on the door, but nobody's coming. And we're panicking because, like, what if we need to, like, check into a hotel with nothing for the night or, like, sleep outside? So I'm, like, banging on the door more, and then eventually someone comes and we're like, oh my god, thank you, Lord. But no, because we're atheists, so not thank you, Lord. Anyway, bye. And we had food, and then we went to bed, and then we woke up and had some more food. And here's me filming exactly when the train arrives, and then I proceed to yell that we have to catch the train. It was early, but yes, we did catch the train. We just spent the day chilling in Berlin. We went to Bramable's Donuts, a vegan donut and coffee shop, and these donuts were to die for. And then we went to a piece of the Berlin Wall, which is really cool to see. It also had a outdoor museum, which I read most of it, all about Nazi Germany and the Berlin Wall. It was very, very cool and insightful. I actually learned a lot, and it was really interesting to be in Berlin, which has such a rich history, and I learned so much about it at that outdoor museum. And then we went to the Memorial for the Murdered Jews of Europe, which was very fascinating. We saw the Brandenburg Gate. Then we went to vegan Asian restaurant Shisomen, and this ramen was the best ramen of my life. It was so good. We trained home. The trains were awesome because they always had Wi-Fi and charging ports so we could charge our phones and use the internet. And then also my partner didn't have data either when we reached a month in Europe because his plan ran out and he decided against renewing it. Another problem we had was that we got a weekly pass, but then it turned out that our stop was 3 stops away from being within the ABC range. So what we needed was a pass that was like 70 pounds, I think. Not pounds, sorry. 70 euros. But we already paid for the ABC weekly pass. So technically, if you do the math, like 4 days of doing a one-way from those 3 stops, like doing that twice a day would be like around $11 a day. In total, that is around $44, which is ultimately cheaper than getting a 70, like whatever. Oh, euro. It's not even dollars. Probably like $80. I don't even know. Pass on top of the like $50 one we already got. So obviously mathematically that was the best option. So we ended up getting 2 paper tickets for each day. This was very frustrating. It was also frustrating because Berlin, for some reason, did not have these things where you, pay or prove that you've paid in order to get on the train. Instead, there's just people who may or may not be there to check if you have a ticket. And like 50% of the time they're there. So statistically, you really should be getting the paper tickets, but technically sometimes you could have risked it and not gotten one. It's a whole thing. Moving on, here's some vegan cruelty-free laundry detergent I found that was small and handy dandy. And here's some food that we had. And here's how loud it would be when trains would pass by. The next day we trained into Berlin and we got some actual German food, but veganized. Got some currywurst fries and a doner kebab, but all vegan and cheap. And this food was so good. It was like, oh my god. We found a store called Esperanto, obviously about the language, but it just seemed to have random things inside. We walked over to East Side Gallery, which is a remaining part of the Berlin Wall that has a bunch of art on it. It was really cool to see all of the art, and it was definitely one of my favorite parts of Berlin. We just chilled in a park by the East Side Gallery, and I really like this shot I got of these two boats because it looks like they're going into a tree. And then I cut it perfectly so it looks like the other boat is just gone. I don't know, I like it. And then I like this shot too because you see this guy with the dog and a boat come in at the same time, and then there they are exiting. I don't know. We went to a mall, and here's German Toy Story, and I don't know what this is. I don't know. Oh, this was just showing really cheap cruelty-free vegan cosmetics, and then look at all the cosmetics in the makeup section that are vegan. This is just, I was filming to show how many are labeled vegan. It was really amazing. I found this hand sanitizer, yay, and perhaps we went back to Brambles, and also I tried a coffee. I'm not really a coffee person. I drink it sometimes, but I expected this to be sweeter than it actually was. I'm not like a coffee person. I'm like a creamer coffee person. So yeah. We went to this vegan grocery store called Vegans, and here's some of the stuff we got. And then we went to the train station, and we went back. Oh wait, this is literally the next day, and I did my nails. Oh my god, so this is one of my favorite vegan restaurants in Berlin. Berlin, for some reason, had such top tier food. But anyway, this is a Japanese place. We got this sushi. It was like so amazing and well priced. And then I got this curry, again, really amazing and well priced. This food was top tier. This was our first day literally with no data, but luckily it mostly was working. We took the tram over to this really cool art exposition, Dark Matter. I was really excited about, and I thought it was super, super cool. It was definitely up my alley. And then the tram wouldn't come for like 30 or 40 minutes, and we didn't have any internet, which definitely wasn't scary. But we got back, and then we luckily made our way around and made it back home. I really like this photo I took, and then we had this food, faux gras, get it? Anyway, and then pasta and chocolate milk. The next day was Ascension Day, and to my memory, in America, Ascension Day isn't really like a holiday, but in Europe, apparently it is because everything kept being closed. Like, we were gonna go to the mall and go to this vegan restaurant in the mall, but it was closed. So we ended up going to another mall and just getting this random vegan option, which was definitely overpriced. But then, no, I did not. First of all, we went back to Brambles for a third time. I know. We had tickets booked for the German Spy Museum, so we went there, and it was really interesting. And here's me totally like nailing the laser maze. I have wanted to do a laser maze for so long, ever since I did my first one, and I bombed it, like failed it. Yeah. Look at me being like a wizard. I did medium difficulty for adult, just saying that. Our American activist friend was also in Berlin, so then we headed over to this vegan restaurant so we could meet up again. Also, look at this cool vegan ad in the subway. The restaurant was Swing Kitchen and the food was pretty good. I was just mostly used to like different food, like not fast food. Like Berlin really has vegan Asian restaurants down for some reason, which is my favorite type of food. Then we did some chalking at Max Mara and Marina Rinaldi, owned by Max Mara, before we had to dash back to the Esperanto House, so that will be let in. And because we had to wake up really early to catch our plane in the morning to Sweden. We didn't manage to fall asleep until like 1 a.m., of course, so we only got like 2.5 hours of sleep, and by 4:38, I think, we were outside waiting for the train, and we got on it, and then we were taking the second train to the airport. Thank you for watching, and I'll be making a video on my experience in Sweden, our last country finally, soon.